Hey guys, welcome again to Creative That Drives Growth. My name is Lauren Schwartz. I am the owner of the Loft 325, and today I'm excited to have a guest on. His name is Jess Bachman from Fireteam, and he is going to actually design an ad in person. I had him on and we had a little conversation, and I kind of gave him a challenge of sending him some assets to work on live so we can kind of see his thought process and how he designs ad creatives. So definitely stick around for that. It's going to be fun. Hey, Jess, it's
Howdy.
great to have you. Had some technical difficulties. I swear I know how to work my computer. Um, so I'm really excited to have Jess from Fireteam on the show today. And really, Jess, if you just want to give us like a quick background of who you are. If you're not on Twitter, he is literally the best Twitter person to follow. So, yeah, Jess, if you just want to give us a quick little introduction.
Yeah, sure. I'm Jess. Started off my career in designing gig posters for bands, like hundreds and hundreds of bands. And that's where I sort of cut my teeth in raw design, then sort of transitioned over into the marketing side of things, infographics, and then into like basically everything marketing, particularly on the creative side. Went to a traditional agency for a while, working with like Gatorade and stuff like that. And then left to do more performance stuff with Fireteam. And tomorrow is actually our 2-year birthday.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Congrats. That's exciting. Cool. Wait, what bands did you use to create design for?
Oh man, I basically did every poster for this one venue. So whatever they had, whether it was like folk or like Avenged Sevenfold or like hip hop. So it was a really great exercise in like forcing yourself into different styles.
That's awesome.
Didn't
Cool.
pay well, $20 a poster, but
Oh, shoot. Seriously? Dang, that's even crazier.
well, it's one of those things where like anyone wants that job, you know.
Yeah, aka me. So I had reached out to Jess, and again, like I follow everything he does. I love everything that he posts. And today I really wanted him to kind of challenge him a little bit. So what I did was I sent over a file of assets for him, and really it didn't have much in it. So in creative and in design, obviously, I think the biggest thing that most designers have issues with is that we don't get a lot of assets. And so I kind of wanted to really just showcase what you could do with the amount of assets that you get from a client. And so today we are going to have Jess design an ad for us live on the spot of just so we could see his thinking and process of kind of how he thinks about ads, how he designs ads with really limited assets.
Was not aware of this format, learned about it 30 minutes ago, but here for it.
That's what I love about you is that I feel like you're kind of up for anything. So I think this is going to be so fun.
Yeah, and we might, or I'm sure we'll encounter challenges that other people
Always.
will face.
Yes. Again, if you're a designer, I think this is probably one of your biggest challenges is just not having enough to work with. And really with clients, just kind of basically saying like, well, this is all I have, make it work. So that's what we're going to do today is we're going to make it work.
Okay, so do you, for me and anyone watching, do you want to give some context on what this brand is?
So this is a client of mine, Weston Willow, and their product is they take a photo of your pet and they make this custom portrait into it. So they actually have a team of designers that work with them, and they will take the photo that you give them and make it into a really great piece of art that you can hang on your wall. They make mugs, they make all these different things. So the assets that I gave Jess were literally just a couple of videos and some photos, and then inside of it was the actual production file of what they have when they make the image. So yeah, that's pretty much that's Weston Willow in a nutshell.
So I guess the first step is I just sort of review all the assets. Unfortunately, here a lot of the assets are the same, or just like wicked similar. Very few amount of assets here, so that's certainly problem number one.
Question: when you actually do get assets from clients, like sometimes is this what happens? Do you actually get assets that are literally all the same thing? Like how do you kind of work through that, and like what is your process when you get files like that?
Yeah, so that's usually not an issue because we're actually the ones creating the assets. So initial engagement, we look through everything that they've done previously, their whole entire asset library, and that's what we have to work with. But we're usually not in a case where they're like, here's 10 things, make an ad.
Okay, which is true. So usually like when I start working with a client, we get their entire asset library. So that's obviously the biggest thing is you have way more to work with. There have been clients though that have sent us files particularly and say, hey, we got this content back from this creator. Let's just say this person, AKA Tilly. And this creator has only sent us this amount of assets to work with. Can you
Sure.
kind of Jimmy rig this to make an ad with only the assets that they've created, which that does happen sometimes. So I think this is kind of like a good use case example of this is what the creator gave us. So this is what we have to work with.
The next thing I'll do is I'll look at the video because it's always the most important piece. It's going to be hard to make a video out of just a bunch of static. So certainly they are. Is this 16 by 9 or 4 by 5 or?
This is 16 by 9 or 9 by 16.
The end unit is going to be that?
Yes.
Opening, a little bit of an unboxing, no sound.
Can we just talk about the dog?
Yep.
I don't know why. Sorry. How cute is that dog? It's so weird looking. I wanted to use these assets in particular because I was obsessed with this dog when I first got the creative assets. So that's just my 2 cents in there.
Dogs have facial expressions too. And this dog here is like, does not know what's going on, but it's still fun. It's still fun. So what do you do when there's TikTok watermarks in there?
So for me, especially for design, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts too, I always ask for raw video. And obviously there's a lot of times when we'll get stuff from Instagram or from TikTok, where unfortunately we don't have that capability. So for me, when I design, sometimes I either just have to try to hide it with text, or sometimes I'll try to scale it so that you can't see it. I really unfortunately, I have to get creative with it and try to figure out how I'm going to hide this watermark so that it's not showing up everywhere. Some clients obviously don't care, but it's better to obviously not have the watermark. But that's usually what I try to do. I'd love to hear your thoughts too.
Yeah, we try and never do the watermark. There are some services that can attempt to remove it and do a pretty good job.
So then for you, when you're designing ads, do you mostly design in Premiere or what do you mostly design in?
Yes, I mostly design in Premiere. There's a million tools to use. I always recommend people use the tools that they feel most comfortable with. It's always good to have video or motion in the hook. So I'm tempted to be like, should I start with this here? Because what else am I going to do? Like static or something? This clip, I'm a little concerned because it takes forever to even figure out what's going on here. It's opening. I'm not sure what it is. And it's finally at, 9 seconds. And it's like, oh, it's a picture of your dog. I get what the product is. This product is only for people that really love their pets, worship or love or spend money on their pets. And there's nothing in here that shows that. There's no human person. I would love someone cuddling this dog.
We're making this a challenge for you.
You're right. So I feel like let's see if we can replicate that as best we can using a static image and maybe some text. Because I don't want to show the product yet because then it's too much like an ad. And so the only thing that we have to use is this guy. We'll just get this guy into full frame to see what we have to work with. And then to put a little bit of motion in there, maybe it's like a zoom in or something. So I'll just sort of keyframe that. And we'll go, this is what we have. And now let's put some text over it to get that hook in. And what if it was like, he is my world? Let's be accurate here. So, okay. And then, to be native, we'll go to Proxima, Nova, semi-bold. This is sort of love oriented. Black or white is kind of more native here. Give a little bit of a curve, extend it out. So we'll put this in there and maybe we'll make it she is my world. And then I feel like I need something within the first second to get people to the next second. And then and then it feels like I feel like we could go into another. Well, there's actually only one other static thing. So no music or anything, no VO. So this will be a top performer for sure. I feel like we have this, use my world. So, and then here we need to cut into the video at 1 second, still in sort of the 3 second realm here. But the challenging thing is this is a long clip. So it's like, we can't just dump this whole thing in there. But I think we can start with this. And if we have text on it, which is like, so with the 3 dots to continue the phrase, I got her a gift. And now there's a little bit of context here where I need to resolve what that gift is. So I got her a gift. And now this clip is now too long. So I do feel like we need to get to the meat of it. Okay, I'm just going to cut this a little bit. And then I'm going to get to some more motion, which is like the opening. We'll cut to here, opening of the pizza box. So we'll just cut out this. I don't know. What is it? Does that feel like it flows?
That feels like it flows.
And then there's probably, trying to make it as tight as possible. Maybe we can get to like this, where we get to the reveal. Wow. Okay. So here's a look.
Yeah.
Here's a look. So I feel like
emphasize that look.
Yeah. Zoom in on that look. So he turns the screen and shows, but now we need to reinforce that. So we're going to go back in time here. Do like it's a meme or something.
And I think that's why I love this clip too, because that dog is just like, what?
Right.
What is this?
But we do have to change the background because it's like a different person. So it's like, the
dog is just the best.
Okay, so there's like a little shake here, and now let's pretend that this shake is actually the dog saying "I love it." A little suspension of disbelief here.
There you go.
Now we're into this. We have an opportunity to say something else here. Okay.
The suspense is killing me.
Okay, lower expectations. Bad example here, but something like this. Something a little bit of like social proof where the dog likes it, but the human, the person needs to. I'm obsessed, and then like this is sort of the end of the clip here, and so like these images are all the same thing as well. So if I were to spend more time into it, like I could like, and the music was sort of bumping. There's lots of transitions here. I could get this photo in here and just make it like move around a little bit or something like that, just to the music to give it a little something there. But given that there's sort of no music here, cut it there. And then since we don't have an end card.
And how big are you on end cards? That's another thing. I'm curious to know end card wise too.
I like end cards. I use them all the time. I use them just about for everything. The one thing that end cards do is they signal that it's an ad. It's a dead giveaway. This is an ad. If you get to the end of this video and in the platform, there's like literally a button that says like this, this is an ad.
Yeah.
You're not fooling anyone that like, oh my God, this was an ad, So we'll just pretend like that's a brand font. We'll put that here and then we'll put like a CTA. So one thing I like to do with CPAs is not just do buy now. One thing we do is like, we like to ask a question that's very easy to answer. It would be like, who is your special, who is your special girl or boy or something? There we go. Perfect. So this is a situation where I want the person thinking about their pet again. Mm-hmm. That's where all the warm and fuzzy feelings are. And I want them not thinking like, should I buy this? But like keep a little bit of intrigue and not assume that they're ready to buy. Because if it said buy now and I'm not ready to buy, why would I click? You're asking someone to do something they're not ready. So
I actually like that. I like how you think about that for CTAs, because I think a lot of people just think, oh, I have to put shop now or buy now or learn more or whatever. And I think I like the fact that you add a question to it, because then it gets people thinking like, oh, okay, well, wait, I think I do want to buy this. I think I do want to look more into it. So I like that CTA question. I think that's a good idea.
And now I'll just run this back. right. There we go, Lauren.
I love it. That was awesome. I honestly like, I know I mean, obviously it's probably not one of our like best ads that we could ever make, but that was amazing. And I just like, thank you so much for even wanting to do it and
Sure.
rising to the challenge. I think that was awesome.
Maybe I'll export it and then maybe you can sneak it in there.
Yeah. See what they say. What do you guys
Yeah.
think? I hope, was that fun?
Yeah. I think it was fun. As a creative myself, I'm always interested in seeing other people's process, and stuff like this is like never shared. It's
Right.
always like what works,
Exactly.
and not and how it's made, and so I think this is great.
That was a lot of fun. Truthfully, I mean, I think as far as like designers go, I mean, obviously, like we're designers. And so there's a lot that goes into it. And I think that's like the biggest thing is that we don't just deliver these amazing ads. Like there's actually a lot of thought and time that goes into it. So yeah, I just thank you so much for doing that. And I definitely owe you one
Yep.
for sure. But cool. Well, thank you so much again, Jess.
Yeah, my pleasure. Anytime. This was super fun.